Hey, good morning, Corey. Yeah, all right. So we can get started. I'll just share my screen. Here we go. Okay, all right. So before we get started with our topic for today, I got one query yesterday related to connecting SQL Server with Tableau. So we were able to, like on the very first day we saw a few things, but yes, let me show it again. And basically there is an important concept here when we say like connecting databases with Tableau. So I'll just cover that in 5 minutes and then we can go ahead get started with today's topic. So I'm just going to connect to SQL Server. We'll select a server here, so you can put the server name and then you can use the required database name. If you have a database name available, you can use that here right away, or else you can sign in using the required authentication. Once you do that, you will land up on this page wherein you see the connection name. Data source name you can change if you wish to. With that, you need to, you'll get the list of all the databases, what access you have on that particular server. So that is what a connection shows. First of all, irrespective of the database, whether you are connected to Oracle, data source type, whether you are connected to Oracle, DB2, different data sources, there would be same behavior here. It will show you all the databases, and you need to select whatever database you want to connect with. So in SQL Server there are multiple databases. I can select a one, and over here I can either run a query or I can directly fetch a table. Whatever suits my requirement, I can do that. I can fetch stored procedure also, drag and drop here, and get the data from this particular source. Now, as per Tableau architecture or backend perspective, what happens here? Let me remove it and drag this query here. I'll write a query. Let's say select star from. Okay, so you got this new custom SQL. Yep. You need to write a query here. Select star from and the table name. I'll select this name. Looks simple. I'll just put this name here. If you wish to see the results, you can see that there is no records. I think I need to take some other table. Let me take the first one. It's error log table. Yeah, correct. Yeah, you can. You have access to both SQL Server as well as Tableau. Yeah, you can do that. You have access to the same what I have. You need to just select this option, right? New custom SQL. Okay. So basically whatever query you write here, the another thing what I wanted to point out, whatever query you write here, let's say select star from table ABC, whichever, what happens, this query doesn't run on this Tableau. What would happen, this query directly hits to this connection, which is your SQL server or ABC database, whatever database you have connected to. So there would not be any load while running the query on Tableau. However, once that query will run and it will return the results, that data will come back to this Tableau. So if you are writing queries and all, that over there, if you feel that your dashboard is slow, it is not fault of your Tableau, it's fault of the original data source where your query is running on. You need to optimize your actual data source, not Tableau. So that is what I wanted to cover this topic here, and that's another difference between extract and data source, live data source. In case of live, you need to tune your actual data source. In case of extract, you need to tune your visualization or calculations what you are using in your Tableau. Hope this is clear, right? When to optimize what. All right. Okay. Let me do one thing for you. Let me start first of all SQL Server, because so far I didn't had any common data between SQL and Tableau. Sorry, SQL and Excel. Obviously, without that it will not join. Okay, so for the benefit of everyone, what I did, I just created the same table here what we had in Excel, that orders table. So if you want, you can see that exact dbo.orders table got created here with the same data as we had in Excel. Now I'll just show everyone, because we can put a join over there or show data blending. So I'll just close this SQL now. Okay, I'll go to Tableau. We'll change data source and refresh it again so that we can see order. Right, so this is the order table coming from my SQL table. So I'll say SQL underscore orders. Right, that's one. Another, I'm adding one Excel sheet here itself. this is orders. Yes, I'm joining here, so you can see this table came from SQL Server, this table came from my Excel sheet, right? This join is cross database join because it let me go one by one here. First of all, you asked data blending, let me cover that, right? It's not blending, please don't get confused with blending. Yeah, what I did, I already had one data connection from the SQL Server. I added another different type of data source, which is Excel, right? And I'm just dragging this table here. Okay, Tableau automatically joins them. It is able to do it here because it has common fields, right? Right now it has joined basis category, but that's not the appropriate field. You can change it to order ID. That would be the best field to join on. Okay, now what type of join you want to apply, you can apply that. This is, I'm joining two data sources, data from two data sources at the connection level itself. This time if I create extract, it's going to create only one extract. It will not create two extracts. This happens when you join two data connection at the Tableau connection level or data source level. This is cross database join. It will create only one extract if I do that here. Right? It already saved as soon as I'll go to sheet, it will ask me to save that connection. It's SQL orders. It will save with this name only one data extract. Okay, and over here also you will see only one data source. This is cross database join, but it is only one data source. Now I'll go ahead, I mean this connection was already there. I will create new data source. Maybe I'll just connect to Excel. Excel. Now you can see I don't see those connections which we added earlier. It's entirely new. If you click on drop down here, you will see two names. Earlier it was SQL orders, and now this is the new connection which we have just created. So I'll say Excel order. Right? Over here also I can go ahead and select extract, go to sheet. It will ask me to save that. I'll click on it and it will save extract for me. Right now you can see there are two connections here. One was Excel orders, which we created with help of cross join. This is the Excel order we just created using Excel sheet. Right? Now if I go ahead to data tab, click on edit relationship and try to join Excel orders with SQL orders, this concept will be called as data blending. Tableau automatically identifies the common fields, so it shows everything because my data has same fields. Whether you select SQL order first or Excel order first, it won't make any difference because my sheet doesn't have any data so far. So you can make any data source as primary and join it. This is data blending. On data blending level, you will not be able to create any extract. Right. Yeah. All right. Horizontally join, basically don't get confused, it's not related to union here. It's join, like left join, right join, what we apply, right? Union all is possible again, I mean, between different data source or multiple data source, same data source, it's possible. The way you apply join, in the same way you can apply union, right? These are the operations. It doesn't matter you are doing it in within data source, within one data source, or multiple data sources. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I'll just continue with this Excel orders here. And okay, so if it's clear to everyone, we so far we covered couple of custom charts. I still have few which I would like to wrap up within 15-20 minutes today. First one, the chart which is used a lot, you might have seen a combination chart. Combination chart, with though we discussed like you can show multiple measures in one chart. It's similar to that, but we were talking about when we discussed about dual axis chart. There is one chart, it's again dual axis, but it's a different view, which generally people like love to see it. So I'll just drag profit and sales here, convert them into bars, and maybe I can drag here, let me region. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I'll just drag regions into column, and my profit and sales into this segment. So far we said that okay, it's dual axis chart, we can do that, that's fine. We synchronize our axis, go back, change it to bar so that it looks nice, that's fine. Right now in the current view, if you see, you will not be able to identify whether a bar represents my sales or it represents my profit. So for that, what we will do, we need to distinguish between both the bars what we are getting, whether it is a sum or it's a profit. How can we do that? By changing the mark for a particular measure. So I've just right, that's one way. Another way, let's say user want to see bar for both the charts, then both the measures, then another chart. Exactly, I want to see bar marks for both profit and sales. Okay, but this time I'm getting two separate bars for each, like profit sales, profit sales. It's taking more area. In dashboard, yesterday I used only, I think, how many, around 7 charts. Yeah, there could be more than 15-18 charts in one dashboard. So at that point of time, I mean, first approach was fine here if you go by line, but in this scenario, it's gonna take more space in your dashboard. Okay, so there is one more approach that specifically we call it combination chart. Why? You can show everything in this area itself right now. What you can do is by changing the size of your measures. So you saw like the profit was the smallest one. What you can do is you can minimize the size of it and have profit at the top of sales. So what happens, you can see profit marks as well as sales here, and bar for both appears on top of each other. वो थोड़ा सा फिर आवाज आती है इसलिए बंद कर देता हूँ। Just start हुआ अभी 7:30. Hi, sorry about that. Actually, I was not listening. So yeah, I mean there were few questions I heard. Hello. Okay, you can swipe between these measures here. So what happens, whichever comes later, that remains at the top. So if you put profit later, profit will be at top. If sales comes later, sales will be at top. Right, right. You can play with the size of sales here. Maybe you can do it small, make it like this. Right, there are multiple ways to create the combination chart within the small. I just drag it using my mouse. Okay, and other things will work as it is. You can have label and all for each thing. That's one of the chart which is generally we use a lot, keeping the number of charts in dashboard and saving real estate in the dashboard area. So combination chart 1. Another thing could be you must have heard about, maybe sometimes we call it candle chart, right? Since when Tableau started, people started giving some fancy names to different charts. So exactly, it's on that route. What I'm going to do here is I'll just create sales and category. I want to create it as a candle chart. What would I do in that scenario? I'll just drag my sales again, make it dual axis chart, make it dual, synchronize axis. If it is not, for one of the measure I will make it like this, I mean bar. Size of bar can be reduced a little. Okay, and the other one, right now it is by default small circles, so that appears like this. If you wish to show the same, well and good. If you want to change, you can change it. More to that, if you wish to apply more shapes here, you can use any shape whichever you want to make your chart look good. Right now I'm using only sales. There is no profit on this chart. That was first visualization. Uh-huh. Yeah. No, this is you can see we have synchronized our axis, whether it is sales, whether it is my profit. The scale goes up to 700k. It doesn't tell that this is profit. This is the scale of axis. Now if you say this number 725k, this is sales, right? And no, read this legend properly. Blue is profit, orange is sales. Hmm. Hmm. Correct, correct. You can do that. Just go ahead and apply. It's here. So this is your profit. Related sales is this. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Combination chart 2. Okay. And what about this chart? I mean, is it clear? Right. It's a simple dual axis chart. The only thing is I have for each axis I have given different mark. Right. Anyone else? I mean, if you have any question, you can feel free. You can ask. Hmm. See, Tableau came in because of interactivity and more user friendliness, right? Uh, you can create the same chart in Excel as well, but that will not be that interactive, and user experience will be quite low, right? So the only thing to make donut chart or here candle chart is to make it look good. You are getting the same number in both the bars. I mean, you don't use star here, simply show bar, it will show the same number, right? But it is just to make it look good, we use different icons or maybe dual axis chart here. Okay, so one way of putting profit, I told yesterday that you can use reference lines and use that. Let me put something like this and let's see what happens. Okay, so right now you cannot use another chart as a dual because it was already dual axis chart. What I will do, as I mentioned yesterday, I'll put this profit first of all on details, and then I'll go to my axis, add reference lines, add reference line, and use profit. And what do you want to show in profit? Is it total, sum, minimum, maximum? Whatever measure you want to show, you can show that. Right now it shows overall profit. If you want, you can show it by each category like office supplies or technology and furniture. You just need to select this and it's going to show the related profit. Right now it is little confusing. Why? Because I drag profit on all cards. So you can remove it from one particular measure. It will appear once only, like this. Same measure. Yeah, same measure. Correct. Exactly. All right, so we'll go here, maybe reduce the size a bit. Okay. Has anybody heard about funnel chart? Okay. Funnel chart basically used in marketing teams. What happens? You need to see. Not only in marketing, I mean network teams also use network basically. Okay, that's part of sales and marketing only. They also use funnel chart. Whenever there is an opportunity, right, or maybe a sales opportunity, or in case of I would say Optum, you have opportunity to acquire or make a patient on board for an opportunity and then go through the different cycles, treatment, hospitalization if it is there. If not, then what is the next step? Last thing is wellness, healthy lifestyle. There are different stages to it. The same thing happens in the marketing domain as well. Whenever you first of all identify an opportunity, you engage, you talk to them, get into contract, and finally you onboard. So these are the different steps for onboarding. So in funnel chart we show the same. So and that is very important. And over here also, I mean, you can create the funnel chart. How you do that, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, funnel chart is nothing but the a substitute, or not substitute, I would say it's a alternate, or you can say it's with using area chart we can create a funnel chart. So I'll go ahead and show that in a minute. We'll drag state here, and then we can drag maybe, let's say, quantity. We get this chart, we'll sort it, or we can go ahead and change it to area, right? So you can see, or you can visualize, it's a half portion of funnel which has already been created, right? As we are talking about funnel, so the another half segment to this also need to be created. For that, you need to have the same measure. Because we took quantity, we'll take the same measure, we'll put negative quantity, and we'll say sum of quantity into -1. I want to take it in negative format. We'll take that and we'll drag it here. Okay, and this time I'll remove my state, put these both into one axis itself. Okay, it got disturbed completely. Okay, should I repeat these steps, or it's clear to everyone like how I came to this stage? Right now it simply represents states and quantity against that. I want to convert this view into funnel chart. Okay, so the same view, I just converted that into area, and this got converted into a funnel shape. Basically, it shows the different stages of any opportunity. If you have, let's say, right now in my data, it is sales data. It doesn't have those opportunities wherein you can say from starting, like exploration, then a discussion, then onboarding, and then finally in business. So that kind of leads and their different stages you can plot into funnel chart. I'll just drag this state here so it will appear like what state we are talking about. Okay, so you will see at this particular point it shows quantity 281. It's related to Connecticut, then Minnesota, different other states. As you go up, you will see the high number for your quantity. In order to create this, I mean, if you have any question related to steps, that you can ask. I wanted to cover more and more custom chart because these are the only things which you'll be using while creating dashboards, and the thing would be required to know when to use which chart. Okay, is it clear to everyone? All right, we'll move ahead. Okay, yesterday we created one dashboard, right? Guys, nobody is speaking. What happened? Am I audible? Yeah, all right. So yesterday we created one dashboard I mentioned. Now the next step comes like how you're going to share those dashboards with the end users. So how do we do in UAG or Optum? How do you share, I mean, the person who creates dashboard, how that particular dashboard is shared with the end users? Right. So basically that's yeah, it's a you can say website, or it's a Tableau Server URL basically, right? It's a location where Tableau Server is hosted, and you can deploy any workbook over there. So right, so over here if you see in different options, you have server option, and it has sign in, open workbook, publish workbook, publish data source, use create user filter, install Tableau Bridge client, and Tableau Public. So Tableau Public I talked about on the very first day, that it's a free tool provided by Tableau, which you can use with the limited functionality. You will not see all those features what we have here in full version of Tableau Desktop. So I'll move. Okay, let me go ahead and show first of all how Tableau Server looks like. So everybody will not have access to this, but this VM, the Tableau Server has already been installed. So you can open it and see that how it looks like. It will ask for login credentials. it's on local, so the credentials which I'm using, it will not work for you. You can check on your machine itself, VM. On desktop itself, you will have a readme file. Within that, you will have related credentials. So as soon as you log in as a user into Tableau Server, you get these options, wherein first of all you have content, wherein you will see different folders which are related to various projects in your case. Then another tab talks about users, like let's say if you want to add some other user, you can click on add user and add their MSID, and automatically other information will be fetched from the server, because with an organization it will be integrated with your Active Directory and MSID. Then you have groups. So basically you can create these are again LDAP groups or MSI Active Directory groups, wherein you can add number of users within a one group. So by default it says all users. Then you have schedules. So I'll come to this schedules in a minute. Then you have tasks. Second tab is status. What is the status of server? Depending on type of access you have, you will be able to see the options. You might not have access to this option as well if admin has disabled it for you. If you go to settings, you have further more settings related to this server which you can apply, but over here you doesn't have full access. When I say full access into this Tableau server view, there is another URL to that, and we call it TMS, Tableau Server Management. This portal will have all the accesses and option to customize and put security settings for Tableau Server. So this is the view which most of you will have access if you have been working on Tableau, or if you are part of any Tableau group, you will be able to access this within the organization. So you can try tableau.uhc.com or tableau.optum.com, and you will be able to access similar kind of folder structure over there. No. Yeah. Tableau Desktop is required only for those people who want to create a visualization. For the consumers, Tableau Desktop is not required. For consumers, only this URL will be required and appropriate access, which they can open and see dashboard. Correct. Right. Now if I talk specifically about Optum, in Optum we have a guest access as well, through which we need not to assign any access to any user. On a specific dashboard or Tableau workbook, we can put a permission for guest, and it will be accessible across the organization. You can search for guest access with your BSL. They will tell regarding Tableau server. Okay, so far. Hello. Yeah. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll come to that. It gives you. I'll come to that. I have not shown the steps how to publish it. I directly came to Tableau Server to show like how Tableau Server looks like. What are the options here? Okay, I'll show you those steps, and then that URL will be coming that you can share with the end user. Okay, so this is the profile related detail, Tableau samples and all this. I mean, this is basically the area where you will see different projects. Now let me close it and we'll go back to our Tableau. Okay, what happened? Okay, I think it's a little slow here. Okay, I just refreshed it. Let's hope it works fine. Okay, so this is the workbook which is already there. Now what would we do? At the place of this workbook, I'll just go ahead and open the last workbook what we created yesterday, because that had dashboard. Continue. Okay, fine. So what I'm going to do now, I'll just follow the same steps. I'll go to server, right? And Ramu, by default it will not be logged in, so you can log in. You will click on sign in. It will ask for credentials, so you need to sign in here using your username and password, and then you can go to this publish workbook. If as soon as you will click on publish workbook, you will get another pop-up like this which says under which project you want to publish this workbook. So you remember, like, there were two folders, default and Tableau samples. When I was on server, I was showing you. So it is those. Wherever you want to save, you can select that folder. Then what is the name of workbook you want to give once it is saved? So I will say, let's say sample dashboard. Right, and then dashboard one sheet. You mean this tab, right? No, this name will be used once it is published on server, right? You can put some description here. Yeah, you can put some description here, and then if you see this refresh schedule full extract, if I am using extract in my data, these will be very helpful, because whatever extract you select at that time, your data will refresh every day. This functionality will work only in case of if you have live connections like SQL database and all. In case of Excel, this functionality will not work. Right, I mean, you're getting why with Excel it will not work, but with with SQL Server, Oracle, it will work. Right. So basically what happens, whatever time you select, if it is SQL, Oracle, or any database, because that connection gets saved here itself, data source, right? So it will make that connection and connect to the actual data source and refresh. But in case of Excel, that is a file system based thing. If it is server based, it will refresh. If it is file system based, it will not refresh. So things like Excel, text file, Access, or let's say if you have only JSON file, if your data is coming from these type of systems, it will not refresh automatically because there is no connectivity. Yeah, in that case we need to follow the same procedure what we did yesterday. I think somebody asked question, let's say data in my Excel sheet changes, then how would I, do I need to create everything again, or I can get the same data? So you can just browse that file again using going back to the connection data sources, and you will have to republish this file. In case of Excel, that is a limitation. If it is a server based connection, there is no problem, it will auto refresh basis this time what you're going to select. Yeah. Then another option which you get here, sheets, all sheets or edit. So what's happening right now, if you see, it shows me all the sheets from my workbook, right? It's a complete list, but it's up to you whether you don't want to. For end users, if you select everything and deploy, end user will, whoever is going to use that URL, will be able to see all the sheets, right? That's not a good practice. What you can do is, I mean, if you want to give access to one sheet itself, just unselect everything and select only the dashboard which you want to share with everyone, right? It's dashboard 1 in workbook and sales dashboard, what the name what I gave here. No, this was the name of, I think, okay, this is the title, sorry, this is the title. And then you can just click somewhere else, so only one thing is selected. It says 1 out of 12. Now this is the important place, very important place, and I would request everyone to focus on it. Access, permission, whom you want to give access. So by default it says all user, another is owner, but if you just right click, it's admin, or if you wish you can add new user here. So in your case, you can add new user, find out, search for MSID, and you can add new user. But role wise, Tableau provides 3 roles. Tableau Server has 3 roles which are common all across, and those roles are viewer, interactor, and editor. Now, I mean, if you are aware, I mean, is anybody aware of these roles? Viewer, interactor. Okay, I think somebody was telling about it. Yeah. Was. Okay, right. I mean, you are right. So if I select viewer, you will see here what happens. You can download PDF, data, view comments, and add comment. Right? What they cannot do is they cannot filter, they cannot download full data, they cannot share the customized view, they cannot web edit, they cannot save, they cannot download or save as, they cannot move, delete, or set permissions for other. Viewers will have only these options. If I select interactor, they have more allow settings. They can filter, download data, share customized view, and web edit. Now, may I ask a question here? What is web edit? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So exactly. So web edit means they can edit it online. For that also they don't need Tableau Desktop. They can simply will get that URL and they will be able to edit it online. With that, share customized means whatever they changed, those changes they can share with other users. If we uncheck this, right, so whatever changes they will do, that would be specific to their view. They will not be able to share their changes with other users. Right. Hope it makes sense. Right. But yeah, and with that, other thing like save, move, delete, set permission will not be with interactor. Editor will have more or less all the accesses on a workbook once it is deployed. Right? So these are the same accesses as admin on a specific workbook. I'm not talking about the complete server access. I'm talking about this particular workbook which I am going to deploy. They will be complete admin owner of this particular sheet. They can add new members, they can delete, edit, anything they can do over here. So I'll just put it for editor one and apply. Okay, by mistake I have selected all user and editor, which means all the users, all users, there was one group, right? If let's say there are 100 users in that group and I'm giving them rights of editor, means each member of that group will be able to edit and share. It will create problem in the dashboard. So we should not give that actually. What I will do, I'll just go ahead and edit again. Edit. We can give interactor, that's a better option. To all users, and I can add other member here and I can assign them viewer or in editor if you want. So you can have different members for a particular one workbook, and to each you can assign a different role. With that, Tableau gives you one option here of custom role. If you see this, right now everything is unspecified. You can select whatever you want, whatever permission you want to give to that user, create a new role and assign, right, whatever you want to do here. So it's a custom role which you can configure for this particular workbook on Tableau Server. Next option is data source. So mostly we select embedded in workbook. You can see this is the name of data source is order sample superstore, what we created yesterday. And if you select embedded in workbook, it will be published to the Tableau server within the workbook. And if you select published separately, which means workbook will be published at a different separate location, and the data source will be published at a separate location. Now let me ask a question here. What's the benefit? I mean, if I deploy or publish it at one place, or if I publish at separate places, what's the benefit, or what are the disadvantage? Everyone. Please share your thoughts. I mean, what do you think about it? If we publish a workbook, a data source embedded in the workbook, or should if we publish it separately? I think I missed something. No idea. Okay, okay, no problem. So, what happens when you publish it embedded in the workbook? So, what happens? You don't see a separate data source, and you will not be able to edit. In order to edit it, you will have to redeploy or republish this workbook. Now, if you publish it separately, so what happen, because it's a connection, right? Data source, it's a connection. It will have credentials, username, password. Now, what may happen, like after 30 days or 90 days, whenever my password expires, this dashboard will stop working. So I will have to go ahead and change the password. So if you deploy it separately, you can change those credentials going to the Tableau server online. You will not have to redeploy the whole workbook. But if you will embed it within the workbook, you will have to redeploy the whole workbook again. That's a drawback or benefit, whatever you call it, within the approaches, right? No. So okay, yeah. In case of MSID, because all your passwords, because it is SSN, all your passwords expires at the same time. I mean, if you change the password for your MSID, it will reflect it everywhere, right? But it is possible that your if you on SQL Server you don't have Windows authentication. If you have SQL Server authentication, then your password for MSID will be different and password for SQL Server will be different. Are you with me? Right. So in that case, if the password for SQL changes and you don't want to redeploy the whole workbook, you need to save this data source separately. Right? Yeah. So exactly. Yeah, so you can publish. So what happens whenever you deploy this workbook on the Tableau server, Tableau creates that connection and saves it into the Tableau server memory. And basis every time whenever anybody goes to this workbook, it hits that connection, fetches the data. If it is live connection, fetches the data from exactly source and shows it here, right? If that username and password will not get saved here, user will not get live data. It will give authentication error. Right? I mean, everybody, is it clear to everyone? Yes, because publishing separately will help you whenever there is a change in the password. You can go ahead and change the password in data source only. Whole workbook will not have to be published. Yeah. But in case of Excel, you just embed in workbook and go ahead and deploy. That's the best option for Excel, because Excel doesn't have live connectivity. Okay, another option, more options, it shows show sheets as tabs. So once you deploy, let's say I selected dashboard, only dashboard, one sheet. It is possible that okay, it shows show sheets as dashboards. In my dashboard I had how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 sheets, correct? So what would happen if I select this option? What will happen? My dashboard will get deployed, published, and 7 tabs will be there. If you don't want to show those individual tabs, you just uncheck this and just publish it. So what happens if I publish it? Right, it published my workbook into Tableau Server and opened another tab here, wherein you will get this message that publishing completed. You can say done, and this is the workbook what you published here. So now before I click on this tab, let's see what other options you are getting. So first of all, we are into content tab, which I shown you earlier. Then this is the name of dashboard what I kept there, sample dashboard. Role admin is the owner, and you have options like edit workbook, download, rename tag, move permission, change owner, tabbed view, refresh extracts. You got it? If you're because my workbook has extract data source, so that's why it is giving me option to refresh my extract. But because it is Excel, there is no benefit of doing this. There is no live connectivity between the original workbook I was connected to and this Tableau server. So this is useless in case of Excel text file or Access database. If you have live connectivity like SQL Server, Oracle, in that case, this is a very good approach. You can go ahead and refresh it. Now on views, it shows that what is the actual view. Data sources, it is embedded within the workbook. It shows embedded in sample dashboard, and it shows the connection. It shows extract refresh. So because I selected this at that time while publishing, so it shows full refresh, and when it will refresh? At the end of month. That's the schedule. If you go to this schedule sheet here, that's why I told at the time, we'll come to this again. These are the different other schedules which has been created by admin. You can create new schedule and define it, but yes, there is a job which need to run and refresh the extract. So these need to be configured by admin only. You will, if you have permission on your Tableau server, you will see that what all schedules are there, but in order to create a new schedule, you need to have a specific permission. That generally Tableau server admin will have that. You can utilize any of those schedules and see that here. And subscriptions. So sharing report is a very important topic. Now, how do you share these reports? One thing is that I just come here, click on it, dashboard will open, right? I click on share, copy this URL and give it to anybody who has access on Tableau server, can see the dashboard, right? Because this is URL, you don't see any other option. Directly the dashboard got open. Okay, so let me go back. We were here, right? From here you just click on this icon or view what you can see. It will open in the new window, full screen. Over here you have few options: original, alert, edit, share, download, comment, full screen. So you can click on share. It gives you one embed code, another is link. If you want to embed this dashboard in any application, just copy this code and put it into that application. iframe or frames will be there in the application, and you can show this in any application. If not, you can use this link and share it with the users. They can just put that URL into Internet Explorer, Chrome, or any browser, and this will open if they have proper access and they are within intranet. It's clear? Okay. Now over here, because on this Tableau server it is on local host only, we don't have subscriptions configured by admin. Now, can anyone tell me that what is the meaning of subscription here? Correct. I mean RSS feeds or subscription. Basically, let's say for leadership, right? And let's say this dashboard refreshes every day. So maybe as a user, I would like to receive an email every day morning with the snapshot of this dashboard. I would like to see that what's my number this morning. So I'll go ahead and create one subscription for myself, and I can where is that? Where I was. I can start receiving emails every day in the morning related to this dashboard, right? It's not configured here, so that's why you can't see. But if any of you have access to Tableau Server, you can click on your Tableau Server and you can go and see subscriptions will be there. So out of this subscription, you can put your email address and put the schedule, that at what time you want to receive this email, what should be the subject of that email, and this email address where you want to receive it. So all this information you will get into your email every day. Exactly. Yeah. No, so it depends on what particular view you are setting this up. Because this dashboard doesn't have any subscription setup, that's why we are not getting that option here. But if you have because you can check in your Tableau server, you will have subscription icon here. If you click on subscribe, it will ask the subject, it will ask schedule, at what time you want to schedule, and it will ask the email address on which you want to send the emailers. Okay. So for this, because for enterprise, generally we configure everything. Everything means SMTP server and everything, so that emails can be sent. I'll show you that where I was talking about that it is not configured. I'll go to TSM, that is nothing but Tableau Server Management. Okay. I need to log in here. Okay, so this has similar kind of view, but it's not configured at all. We need to set up everything here, including SMTP server, so that we can send emails and all. Had it been set up, I could have shown you like how that email subscription goes, if anybody subscribes for the particular dashboard. Yeah, of course. I mean, if you are yeah, if you have interactor right, you can. Okay, now going back, creator, you mean the person who's working on Tableau Desktop? See, Tableau access rights are different than Tableau Desktop. So these controls will come in. These controls will come in picture only when you are publishing it. While creation, you will not get those options. Right. No, again, don't get confused. Creator can be somebody in your team, can be a developer, can be anybody, right? It is not necessary that that creator has a proper access on this Tableau server. Tableau server is a different product than Tableau Desktop. Are you getting? Hmm. Right. So you can create dashboards. Mhm. Right. Yeah, I'm getting. Yeah. So while publishing only, you will get those options. Right. Okay. Another thing what I wanted to show here out of content, you already have these many options. You can see uh, when how many times it has been uh, published. Let's say you publish something wrong, you can restore the old version. So all that application management system features are here on Tableau server. Another thing, when I clicked over here, it opened here and I was able to click edit. Now I'm not using Tableau Desktop, I'm on Tableau server and I have proper rights, maybe like interactor. So I'm going ahead and will edit this dashboard right now. So okay, you can see it now, right? As we clicked on edit and this is how it opened. And we have those features here. It's not everything, but you can see like different sheets are there which were part of this dashboard. And then you have options like file, data, worksheet, dashboard, analysis, map, format, all that. So you can make some changes here, and if you wish, you can publish it again. I'm going to different other sheets. Right, so it's clear here. I mean, till this point, is it clear? Any questions, anybody? Okay. Yeah. Right. So that is what I mean. We need to be very careful while giving these accesses to the user. I'll go back and will show you. Even after deploying a workbook, you can take care of the permissions. Okay, so on user side, if I click add new user, let me put some name, test. What role we want to give, either viewer, explorer or creator. These are the roles on server side. Right, so for users, if you wish that you don't want them to make any change, option is the viewer to give most of the users. All the users whom you want they should be able to make changes, give them a right of interactor. Interactor will be part of explorer as well as creator. And if anybody is has having the complete ownership, then that would be I mean, again, that would be the admin as well as it could be interactor. Okay, let let me show that again. I'll go ahead and publish. Yeah, so if you look at it here, it clearly depicts that what is the permission. Right, viewer can only download PDF, download summary data, view comments and add comment. Right, these things are unspecified for them. If you wish, you can put into deny status for them. Anybody who has the viewer permission, they will not be able to do these things. So it's all config. Correct. Right, so yeah, viewer need to do that, so we can simply put it here and they will be able to do it. So it's all configurable. Whatever the way you want to customize it, you can do it. Similarly, interactor or editor. So most of the users, I mean, if you see within the organization, will be part of interactor group, so that they can share, they can filter out, they can put comment, they can export data and download that as a PDF. Now I'll go back to the same page. Okay, over here, and the content what we had, dashboard. Okay, once deployed, you see this dashboard like this. Again, you have ability to download this in terms of image, PDF, PowerPoint, or Tableau workbook as it is, if you have appropriate access. So depending on like viewer, editor, and interactor, viewer will not be able to download data and cross table. Okay, let me ask a question here. What's the difference between data and cross table? What will happen if I fetch data, download data, and what will I get if I just download cross table? Image, PowerPoint, workbook, that's straightforward. We have been using it. Likewise, image, if I download, it comes like this. You can directly put this into your PowerPoint slide or email and send it across. Yeah, so anybody from the group, what's the difference between data and cross table, or what it is? I mean, not the difference, but what would happen if I download data and what would happen if I download cross table? Mm-hmm. Okay, your first point was 100% correct. If you download data, it's going to give you the exact data what has been used for this particular dashboard or visualization, right? Whatever you connected to the original data source. If you download cross table, right, it will ignore all visualizations here, look for only table and download the data of that table. Okay, that's the difference between cross table, because generally what happens, as a user, you would like to get the data and create your own analysis, right? For business analyst or data science roles, you generally do that. I mean, if you have data, definitely you get some insight from the existing report, but you would like to drive your own numbers, and over there cross table data comes in picture. So that's why cross table will give you option to download your cross table data only, and data will download everything. You can see here only state, profit, and sales as soon as I have downloaded cross table. Nothing else is there. Correct. Yeah, this comments. So basically, comment section, like let's say this dashboard has been shared with 10 different people within the team or within the department, so they can put their comment, why the number, why sales is going down, why profit is not booming up, all that questions, discussions can happen here, right? So you can keep posting this, people can discuss on a particular dashboard, so all those comments will appear whenever a viewer will go and see, or whenever a user go and see the dashboard, right? Is it clear so far? A lot of theory, but very useful in order to share how to share. Yeah. Now there is one point which I didn't cover here, alert. Again, for this also I need some setup into Tableau Server. So basically I think this started after Tableau 10.4. Before that this alert was not there. Now what happens, let's say I focus on this particular chart and I want, as soon as this furniture sales goes down, below 20,000. Right now it is 23, right? 23k. I want, as soon as it goes down below 20k, I want an email to be, shoot to everyone. I want to set up a alert, right, or a trigger, that if a certain metrics goes down below a certain number, everybody should get a notification or an email, right? So that is how over there these alerts will come in picture. It says set a numeric axis of a chart and then create alert. So that's a required, and this setting need to be done from the Tableau server first, and then we can implement over here while publishing or after publishing. So this is again, after 10.4 Tableau version it came, and it's very useful, because generally people who are working on tight deadline or working in a competitive environment, they needs to get keep updated or keep up to date what is happening and what's not happening. So over there this alert comes in picture, and it's very helpful. Full screen, as it sounds, if you click on it you will see full screen dashboard on the page like this. You can exit full screen. We'll go away from there. You can refresh. Let's say you have but again, if you talk about this refresh, it will get the data from your actual source what you have put in as. If you are using extract, you will keep getting the same number. It will hit extract and fetch the numbers again, same number, because extract has not refreshed. If it is live connection, this extract is going to get data from, this refresh is going to get data from your actual data source every time whenever you click on it. Right, so I can see time is already 9, and we have covered so far Tableau server and just 2 customized charts. We'll continue with the Tableau server after the break, and there are few more topics which we need to cover. I'll show the connectivity with R and how to do the required setup, and connectivity with the Python too. Okay. Yep. All right, so we'll meet just after 15 minutes from now. Yep. All right, thanks everyone. Hello everyone. Is everyone back? All right, this Sri, Ramu, Ankit, Corey. Yeah. All right. Vineet, are you there? Okay. I didn't just get any response from Corey. Uh, okay. All right. So I think everyone is here. What about Ramu? Ramu, you there? Okay. So Ramu and Sujoy, I think you're already there, right? Okay. Okay, I think Ramu and Sujoy will join in between. Let's get started. So, yeah, I was talking about alerts, and then we talked about downloading data. Okay. Okay, so let's say you have used a data extract in your workbook. So in that case, you can come here and refresh your data extract manually. Let's say you have put one schedule here, but you want to refresh it before the schedule. So you can manually go to Tableau Server and refresh your data. So these are the different schedules which are there. Okay, I don't want to create new schedule, I simply want to refresh. So for that, I'll go ahead and right click on actions, run now. So it will refresh my data immediately, and you can see the time when it was refreshed last time. Right, if your workbook has multiple data sources, all of them will appear here. If it has multiple views, means multiple dashboards or like sheets, that will appear here. So you can show them, set permissions, delete, export, share, tag them. All that option you can apply from Tableau Server. Okay, so related to the complete Tableau Server so far, anybody has any questions, any doubts, how to publish it, how to configure permission, how to just show one sheet, not others, anything. If you have any related question related to Tableau Server, you can ask. As per my experience, I saw 3 Tableau servers over there. One was specific to Optum, like tableau.optum.com. Then you have tableau.uhc.com. Another is tableau.optumtech.com, something like that. So basically, you can have, each department can have their Tableau server. It's depends on the. Hello. All right. So any other question? Okay. For the people who, let's say, you don't have access to Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, and you are not working on any project. I mean, for the practice purpose, I'm telling. So keep in mind, don't put any provider or member data. If you are connected to sample server data provided by Tableau, and if you want to publish it, you always have an option to publish it into Tableau Public. So for that, you come here, server, and then Tableau Public, and you can save to Tableau Public. Now Tableau Public, for that you need to have credentials. Anybody can create an account to Tableau Public. Let me see if mine one is working. Or else we can create a new one. Okay, I don't know. Create a new one for free. Let's just finished.
Just finished break.
Okay. Okay, so it says that your profile was created, and I'll go back to. Okay, so it's asking how I want my workbook to be posted to Tableau Public. I'll just name it in a similar way, like sample underscore dashboard, and we'll save. Right. So earlier we published this workbook into Tableau Server, and now we are going to put it into Tableau Public. Tableau Public is basically, it will be available to whole Tableau community. So it has just published. It will open another URL, and you can see here it opened in public.tableau.com profile. My name is there. Then I have gallery, author, blog, resource, activity, different other things. You can open it from anywhere within internet, or from internet you can open from anywhere, even on your mobile. So this is the another way of sharing it with you. If you don't have any confidential PHI or PII information in your data, you can publish it right away and practice it. So maybe Ankit, for you, like yesterday you mentioned that you don't have access to Tableau Desktop and all, and you cannot publish. So using sample data, you can publish it to Tableau Public, and it's free of cost. Right. So yeah, somebody was speaking. Okay, so it's clear to everyone, right? Whether it is Tableau Server or it is Tableau Public. Now I'll ask one question here. What is the difference between these two? How I mentioned this on the very first day. There were three products: Tableau Online, Tableau Public, and then Tableau Server. How these three things are different from each other? Correct. Yeah, that's correct. So Tableau Public connects with only file system based data sources like Excel, text, Access, or if you have data files like JSON or SPSS. It doesn't provide live connectivity. Yeah. Yep. So you can create your dashboard using that data source, but once you will deploy, after that it will not be a live connectivity. So it will not refresh. The data will be same always. Now another difference is like Tableau Public is, as I mentioned, it's free of cost for all the users. You can create your profile and they provide some limited space. I think it's 10 GB, right? So 10 GB of space is given to you. You can publish as many dashboards you want. However, when it comes to Tableau Online and Tableau Server, so Tableau Online is the cloud format of Tableau Server, and that is hosted by Tableau itself. So in case of Tableau Online, whatever you deploy, that goes to the cloud, which is managed by Tableau as an organization, right? So you give hosting cost, not hosting cost, you give only the cost for the services which you utilize. Like you are pushing your data on Tableau cloud, so data and all storage and all will be managed by them. Now the thing is, you need to keep in mind whether that is secure or not, whether how they are going to use that data. So those questions come in picture, and that is the reason the most secure way of going for online thing is Tableau Server, and that is enterprise level. So for each corporate level or each organization, they host their Tableau Server within the premises. So everything whatever you deploy on it, that remains within the organization. It's secure and managed by the organization with the collaboration with Tableau, right? So any question in case of any doubt within Tableau Online, Server or Public? Okay, if not, I think I'll end the chapter for Tableau Server and how to publish it. We'll move back to Tableau Desktop, and there was one important concept which is still there, we couldn't cover so far, so I'll be covering that. Okay, fine. Not programming. I'll just simply show how to connect Tableau with those things. Right. Our programming in Python is not part of this course. Yeah, only the connectivity part I will show. Right. Yeah. So do you have R or Python set up on your machine? All right. So we can take a look and yeah. All right. So before going to that, there is one concept of LOD. Have you heard about? Has anybody heard about LOD? LOD functions. All right. Okay. LOD, the full form of LOD is basically level of detail, and these are a type of table calculations which are used while doing cohort analysis, or if you want to drill down on a specific dimension. So I'll tell you the difference, and then it would be easy to understand that what is the use of LOD. So if I let me drag some field here, let's say region, and I drag sales. Where is that sales? Yeah, okay, I'll show labels. Okay, so let me find out average of this sales, and that's this. Okay, so over here, I mean, looking at this graph, I can say that in central region my average sales is $215.77, right? That's a fair statement to say. For central region, the average sales is $215.77, correct? Guys, speak up. I mean, any doubt in this sentence? It's a straightforward sentence, right? But if I change my statement, I want to know the average sales per customer in central region. How would you calculate that? Average sales per customer in central region. Or maybe average sales per category in central region. I want to limit my average calculation either on category or customer, whatever you want to do. Thoughts? How would we implement this? That's a business requirement and I need to show that chart. No, I mean, likewise I'm showing for all 4 regions, right? Show for all regions what I want. It should be average sales per customer for this region, for this region, for this region, or average sales per category for these regions. What would be your approach and what logic you're going to apply? Obviously, yes, correct. But I mean, in mathematics, or if it is Excel, how are we going to do that? What would be our approach? Okay, let me open this data set in Excel itself and let's do that. And I'll not do that. All of you are going to tell me how to do it. So data sources, and let me create a copy. Open. Okay, so I have same data set here. What I wanted average sales, which means I need sales data. Where is sales data? In column R. Then I said I want region is in column M, and then I wanted per customer. So maybe you can take customer name or customer ID, anything. So let me take those fields only what I needed. Region, customer name is there, very good, and then we have sales. So 3 fields which I need for my analysis. I'll put them here. Now any one of you please guide me. How should I go ahead and calculate? If I need to do, let me show this also. Average. This is what we already have in Tableau. No, what basically I wanted to say here, if you see these numbers, average per region we already have. That what we did in Excel. Now the next task, what I am saying, I want sales per customer per region. That is what we need to calculate. So average sales per customer per region. Okay, let me okay. So are we saying that our view will be like this now? Yeah, right. So for one customer, my average, I mean for each customer there is a different average. So till this point it's correct. But if I say per customers, average sales per customer for a region, basically I want to calculate average of sales per customer and then I want to show it on region level. There is a small difference. Yeah, exactly, grouping it on customer first of all and then average it out on region level. That is what we are looking for. Okay, so in Tableau basically for these type of scenarios, LOD comes in picture, level of detail. Basically you want to level out your measures on a specific, you want to find out details on different levels. So over here when I say per customer, basically you want to restrict your sales first of all basis customer and then you want to average out on a particular region. So for that we'll follow the same procedure of calculated field. I'll name it as sales per customer for region. Okay, and over here before I go ahead, I don't know whether they provide this help of LOD. There are number of LOD types like include, exclude, fix. So okay, include is here. The expression of this, I mean so far the calculated fields what we created, they had either if condition or you can add or drive any formula, but this include function is going to work in include, exclude and fix. Three things are there. You can see fixed one and exclude one. So these things have a similar formula. In Excel generally we take it as array kind of thing. So here also you need curly braces first of all, then you need to include type the keyword what type of LOD you want to use, and then you need to use your measure basis which you want to restrict your data. So maybe category, or if you wish to use customer, we'll take customer, then colon, and then you will use the function what you want to aggregate a measure for. So maybe sales. Finally, this is how your formula will be derived. This keyword will change depending on the type of LOD you want to use, whether include, exclude or fix. You can take the help given here also, but It's simple. Everything is within curly braces. Then the keyword what LOD you want to use for, then customer name, the dimension basis which you want to limit, or then measure with the aggregation what you want to apply. So I'll just go ahead and apply this value, and you will see here if I drag this now, let me change. We wanted to find out average, not sales. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Now you'd see this is the overall average for a region, and this is when we implement first of all what we are doing, grouping the total sales for a customer and then finding the average on a region. Though values are close, but there is a slight difference. So it depends at what level you are doing your calculation on. Is it making any sense? Overall for a region is 215, but if you calculate it basis customer, it is 216 now. Right, any questions here? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of doubts, but nobody is speaking right now. Yeah. Okay. So just to add one more thing, I said that there are three type of LOD functions. One is include. I mean there are more, but these are the most frequently used. Include, exclude, and fixed one. So the meaning is, if you are using include, basically you are going to the lowest level. Lowest level is what? Customer name here. Like you are calculating it on individual customer and doing average and then averaging it out on region level. If you use exclude, which means it will ignore whatever dimension you use here, except that it will follow the same procedure as it was doing in the original case. Means it will ignore customer name and do the regular average basis other fields. And if it is fixed, which means it will 100% ignore all the dimensions and just average it out. So fixed and this normal is mostly going to be same, but if you use include and exclude, that will make slight change in your data. And if anybody is involved in cohort analysis, means segmentation and clustering, in those scenarios sometimes LOD function plays very important role, because we are not showing customer details here, but still we are considering them for the calculation. Okay, so far so good. I'll keep this here. Okay, let's talk about R. I mean, I think Shara or Dashri, you have R, right? I couldn't get the name. Yeah, Dashri. All right. So basically, in order to connect with R, What about other people? You know, right? What is R? Yeah. So Ankit, can you please help us and tell? Hmm. Mhm. Mhm. Right. So basically, I would say R is a first of all, is to start with, R is a language which initially uses Yes language, and now it's a tool, and it's a tool basically used by statisticians, right, for data analysis, visualization, and a machine learning purpose. Not machine learning, I would say, but basically mostly for data science and writing algorithms and all. Now it offers a lot of libraries because it is open source, and it provides a lot of libraries which have algorithms and calculation inbuilt, so we can directly use those calculations or logics into our data. Like functions and libraries are there. Same goes with Python. Python is again a language, and Python has also a lot of libraries, so we can utilize some functions. There is very limited functionality, I would say. Only 4 functions are there which we can use in which we can use in Tableau after connecting with R or Python. But there are a lot of limitations, and that is why the topic what I'm talking about now is like connectivity with Tableau and R or Tableau and Python is limited to only those users who are doing analysis on Tableau Desktop. Because see, the limitation is, once you connect with R and Tableau, you cannot publish your workbook to any server. That's a limitation, because R server or Python server, basically TabPy, I'll come to that, it needs to be integrated with the Tableau server. And two servers, I mean, right now Tableau server is not integrated with R server. So that's why we cannot deploy any workbook which has R server integrated. We cannot publish that into Tableau server. So having said that, let me just go and show R first of all, how it looks like. Okay, this is the R tool which is installed here. Few people would have R Studio also. So R Studio is basically GUI which works on this console, that works as a skin, and this is the console format of R. The people who know it, for them it could carry a lot of value, but the person who doesn't know how to use R, it's just a console screen, and you type any function, it will not work, frankly speaking. So in order to connect with R, we need to install R server in our system, and R server is going to basically connect with Tableau. So first of all, you need to have R on your machine, and then you need to have R server on your machine. So I have just closed R, and I have written down few steps, those steps which we need to follow. I thought of sharing these things with all of you, so I created these documents. So you can see, like, if you don't have R, you can download R from here, and then R Studio is optional, and if you wish, you can have R Studio, otherwise it's fine. The main thing is this R server, which you need to be installed on your machine and working. So for this, I'll just open R again, and we'll go to install.packages, rserve. It will install rserve on the machine. You can select any of these mirrors. I generally select USA. It will take couple of minutes and it will install rserve on my machine. I'll connect to library. Okay, it says, first of all, it says it cannot install here packages rserve. Okay. Okay. Okay, just give me a minute. I'll just restart this machine. It seems some issue. I'm not able to install it. It downloads, but it's not installing. Right. So just give me a moment. I'll try to save everything and okay. Meanwhile, any of you are connected to VMs or you are working on your local machine? Okay, so nobody's using these VMs. Is it? Okay. Okay. And any of you, I mean, as Dashri mentioned that she has R. Dashri, can you please try writing the same function there and install R serve? Okay. And okay, that is the first step. When you install, it shows for me also that it's working. Now the next thing is, after this you need to connect to this library actually. So it would be library, then you need to give the name as R serve and semicolon. Okay, it worked this time. It worked very good. Now, which means I'm connected to R serve library. I can start my server, which means, okay, before starting this server, let me show you. If you go to Tableau and how it appears, I have just connected to my, I'm right now I'm pointing to my library and how what happens in Tableau. So Yeah. Right. So as I mentioned, that there are only 4 functions which we want to import from R into Tableau. Only in that scenario we'll be connecting to R, right? Likewise, other day I was showing forecasting in Tableau, right? Tableau has a generic model of statistics that what it uses for forecasting. But let's say if you want to use your own model, what you have developed in R, or maybe R's some existing library you want to use, in that case you can use and connect to R. So what happens, how it appears, I'll show you in a minute. My system also got very slow. Okay, so at this point of the time, let's say this sheet or maybe new sheet I'll put in help menu. If you go to help menu and go to settings and performance, this is the place where you connect to any external service, right? So R is one of them, Python is one of them, and this got recently added. I mean, I think R was R got R connection with R got in 10.10, sorry 10 only, not 10 point. I think starting with the 10, but Python they have recently came up with. So if you see here, okay, I believe my R server is still running. No, I don't think. I'll just test connection. Okay, it's not running right now. My R server is not running right now, and TabPy or external API is basically for Python, and that is also not running right now. So this is like old when we connected, it's showing in cache, but this is the screen what you get when you want to connect with R or Python. Once you are connected, I'll show you in calculated field. Okay, these functions which you can see here, like script bool, script int, script real, and script str, these are the functions which you can use with R or Python, right? If you are not connected with R server or Python, you will not be able to use these functions. And the error message which you can see here, okay, help, it says if you are connected with R, then this is this syntax which you can follow, and if you are connected to Python, this is the syntax which you can follow, right? If you are not connected with any of those two, you will not be able to use these functions. And it, it was giving some notification. Yeah, so you can see return a string result from a external service script. Those external service scripts are nothing but R and Python, so you need to have connectivity with those, then only you'll be able to use it. Now I'll just go ahead and start my R serve. So it says R serve, and okay, so it says starting R serve at this particular location because my exe file is at this particular location. So the condition is, if you want to utilize this flexibility of R in Tableau, this R serve needs to continue run in backend. What happens when you publish your workbook in Tableau Server? That connectivity gets lost, and that is the reason if you use these features in Tableau and publish it, it won't work anymore. So for extract purpose, that is fine, you can use. So now if I go and follow that route, setting and performance, manage external service, and select R serve here in the list, This will be by default localhost because my Ask server is also running in local and my Tableau is also in local. This is the default port. I don't have any username and credential for our server right now. I can click on test connection. It says successfully connected to the external service. And this time, if you go ahead and use those calculated fields which were there, like a script str, this time you will be able to use them. Now you can take help of this function here. It says returns a string result from an external service script. Use .args to enumerate arguments in our expression. So you see here, if it's script str, sub str argument 1, comma 2, comma 3, close bracket, and then what is your attribute, that's the region. So this is how you can put it. Let me just draft a one here. So I'll use the same example. So whatever arguments have been passed here, argument is nothing but region here. So it will convert everything into string. Let me put something else, maybe quantity. Okay, another thing, as soon as we put that syntax here, it says default table calculation, and if you drag it, it will have the same delta icon what we used to have with our table calculations. The only difference is the logic in order to implement this calculation is being run into R, and then it is using here. So you see the delta icon for table calculation, and null, basically my the argument which I passed, it doesn't have string, quantity has a number. You can use category if you wish. Okay, fine. So any of you know like how to write these syntaxes in R? Anybody would have gone through R programming? Yeah, Yeah, so basically for this we either it is with Python and R. We somebody who knows programming, they will be able to use it here. But connectivity perspective, we are able to connect with R here, and we'll be able to leverage these script functions. All four. Only these four functions are being offered by R and Python into Tableau. So Ankit, maybe do you know that? Hello? Yeah. Okay. Fine. So Ramu, regarding connectivity, do you have any question? Connectivity and setup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, myself also, I mean, I have not worked on R and Python, only the connectivity part and using this script that can be done. So okay, and okay, so this document I simply got it from Tableau community only, and they have given all the steps. These were the steps which we were following earlier, and once you are connected, it needs to run in backend, as I mentioned. Okay, and only these four functions which are for our use: script bool, script in, real, and str. So you can say like our functions are computed as table calculations, and since these are the table calculations, all fields being passed to R must be aggregated. Okay. Yeah, I kept it here. That's because of that reason only. I'll be sharing all this content today with workbook of every day and these both documents. Similarly, I have drafted steps in order to connect as well as how to use Python. That is also I got from Tableau community. You can also search for it, but it has a small description what Python is. If anybody is not aware, then this is the library, basically tabpy, which you need to use in order to connect with Python. So for that they have a GitHub repository. I'll show you that. So tabpy, okay, in order to connect with Python, what you need to do is this is the tabpy repository. You need to download this on your machine, right? And once you will download, because it is the master branch, your the file which you will download, its name will be tabpy-master. So I did it before the session, and downloads. This will be the file which you will download. After exporting it, it will appear like this. Over here you will have couple of files. Now this is the main file which you need to have in order to connect Python versus with the Tableau. The dependency for this is you need to have Python 2.7 or above on your machine in advance. So Python you need to install, and post that you need to run this. It will look for all missing dependencies or files or any dependency. If it is there, it will automatically put that and start the Tableau Server. Once it is done, you can go back to your Tableau, follow the same procedure, setting and performance, manage external service, Tableau external API. This localhost and port will remain same, and you can try testing your connection. If everything is working fine, it will show that successful message. If something is wrong, it will simply say not responding, or it will say that it's not the appropriate error message. Okay, so it's anybody with Python here in the group? All righty. Okay, I'll try on my local machine. Let's see. I need to have you can see my screen, right? I just shared and unshared, and I'm going to work on my local machine here. Okay, same folder I will download. And I will run this startup.cmd. You need to run. Okay, before that, let me open Tableau. Okay, so it gives this error message if my Tableau server is not running. So in order to connect with Python or Tableau server, I need to start that exe file what I shown. We need to click on it. It will run through some of the dependencies and install required files. You can see I have Python 3.7.3 on my machine. It will take some time and install those things. Okay, it's taken time. Okay, so you can see here the message, right? Web service listening on the port 9004, which means Tab server is running right now, and we can connect back to the Tableau. So but again, the same condition as with our server we needed to run that R server in backend, then only those scripts will work in Tableau. Similarly here, if I go now connect now, and that need to continuously run in backend. Now if I test connection, okay, let me try once again. Servers, sorry, help, external services, select this. Okay, sorry, it says port number 9004, so we need to put 49004, and then let's try. Okay, it's hanging here too. Mm-hmm. Yep, but I'll share these steps wherein you know how to connect. We'll follow the same process what I just shown here, so that's fine. I'm if nobody has any questions here, except you. Yeah, right. Okay, so I think we are left with 1 hour. I would like to maybe recap with the questions which you have, or any doubts so far. We went through many custom charts, but still, if you have any specific question related to any chart, we can go ahead and talk about those. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that will be great. I'm trying to recall what we created yesterday, but yes, that will be great. Yeah. Okay, you mean this legend is based out of only first column. Let me try in my machine. Okay, I don't want your data to be shared for long. It's might have any important information, but yes, let me share my machine. Okay. I think we saved yesterday what we created, so we'll open that specific workbook. Okay, so what we were saying, if I got your question correct, my legend is based out of only first column right now, right? And other columns, if I put some flag, it will have a different legend, and in that case I will have to put multiple legends, right? But in your case, yeah, I mean in your case, basically in the table which was there in the bottom, we had only two things, right? Either goal was met or not, correct? So if we have a same scale or same condition to be put, I think we can apply the same thing over there. I mean, let me try. What I'm trying to say here is, because on this column I have applied this condition, which is profit flag, and basis which I am driving my legends. So if I drag the same field on other fields also, okay, okay. So in that case, I think this arrangement will not work. Neither in my case nor in your case. What we will have to do, we will have to create a static legend that will always be there, right? For that, you will have to use small images, basically, and follow this shapes in use. So what we can do is, like, let's say you're saying it's a flag, right? ABC, what you have used. In the same way, we can use our shapes and give a specific name to it. Now how to do that, let's figure it out. So okay, what I would do in that scenario, a simple shortcut what I am going to follow now, I'll create another data as per my required legend. It could be in Excel or it could be in text file. So let me go ahead to my actual data source. Sample Superstore. I'll insert one more sheet here. We'll simply call it legend. And here I would give maybe name and some number I can assign. Let's say number, whatever. Okay, this will, I will say like what are the flags? Goal, met goal, right? I can simply give some number, random number here, 1 0, or if they are more in number, I'll just close it. Go back to my Tableau, add another connection. Bring legend and you saw right what I did so far. I converted my I created raw data in my Excel sheet, and then I have created another connection here in Tableau with the same Excel sheet what I okay. Okay, over here, so I'm just connected to the new sheet what I created, and this is the new data source which got created in Tableau. I'll call it simple legend, and we'll go to sheet 12. Over here you can see like I have name, number, and those values what I had. Basically number is this only. What I will do, I'll just take this here on rows, and for this I can assign some color. So maybe let's say shape I have taken as square. However, what I will do, I'm going to put maybe number or name on color. And for color, for goal met is green, not met is red. And then I'll carry forward this legend into my dashboard over there. Format legend, okay, or this table if you wish. You can put any of these. It will be a static legend over there. You can ignore this one if you want. Actual legend. You can take this sheet as a legend over there. So hide title, hide these names, and on dashboard I think it's sheet 12. This you can utilize, right? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. First of all, tell me, you understood the way we create dashboards, right? That approach you understood. Okay. So what happens in story? So far, the actual story or the creation remains same through your different worksheets and all. What happens in a story? You can drag your dashboard or individual sheets, both. With that, what happened yesterday? When we change the data source and all, if we change the filters and all, my data on dashboard was changing continuously, right? In story you can draft a story. Okay, let's say in 2000. Okay, let me drag something. If I have sales by year, you have same feature here also. You can drag multiple sheets, or sorry, not multiple sheets, but you can drag your dashboard here. Okay, individual sheet or your dashboard. So in case, for an example, you just dragged your dashboard onto sheet and make some filters, right? Let's say this is central region. I'll change it as central. Now you go ahead and select east and give a caption to east. You move to next one, sorry, new, and say south. Okay, it's updated now. So this is kind of creating a snapshot. When, let's say, in presentations you are going to talk about different stages of sales, or different stages of some like progress. You want to show the status. In that case, this storyboards come in picture and it helps you a lot. So likewise, what is happening here, you can see on the first tab, it shows central. Actually, it was supposed to be central. It was showing east. And then in east, third tab, it was supposed to be east. I think it didn't save when I was doing it. And for last one, it will be south. So this is the same dashboard, right? I have not created multiple dashboards. It's the same dashboard, but I was able to capture 3 different stages of it into 3 different sheets, right? So that's the only difference between dashboard and sheet. Like in dashboard, data changes as you change any filter and all, but in sheet whatever you put, it will not change dynamically. And another thing, in dashboard you cannot take another dashboard, whereas yeah, please go ahead. No, that's not necessary. I mean, you can create a story with multiple dashboards, or multiple dashboards, I mean, on one tab of story, you will have one sheet or one dashboard, right? Likewise, in dashboard, we were able to fetch multiple sheets. That is not possible in case of story. If you want to put multiple things, you will have to do it in a form of dashboard. Yeah, exactly. Right, so this is the same dashboard, but I have changed filters and I'm able to use them on different tabs of a story. Otherwise, like creation, formatting and all, that will remain same the way we did it in dashboard. So that's why I didn't cover this. Even like while reporting and when we develop, we don't focus much on stories. We mostly focus on dashboard, because story comes in picture when somebody is presenting it. Then story helps a lot. Mhm. Okay. Another thing here, I sent one PPT yesterday. So basically, Tableau provides whatever you create with the Excel sheet or a workbook or dashboard, you can simply export that as PowerPoint, and you would be able to utilize it into your presentations. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. Mhm. That's again, I mean, using kind of filters what we have, action filters. With using those, we can do it from one sheet to another, from one dashboard to another. It's possible, and even those action filters provide you flexibility to open certain URLs as well. I'll show you. In dashboard, if you go to actions over here, so you can see these many options are there. Filter, yesterday we used only filter. Then if you want, you can highlight, go to URL, go to a particular sheet, or change the set value. So these things are possible using action filter. Yeah, so I mean, it is possible, like in your workbook there are multiple dashboards, and when you are showing, you need to navigate between from one dashboard to another. So that you can do from here. Yeah, no worries. All right, any other question? I'm just looking for other major functions which we use and I have not covered. Yeah, this was shared yesterday also. I mean, if you check, it was already shared. You guys are getting my emails, right? Yeah. So it was already shared. Now, see this option here, help. Basically, I will be sharing few books and documents which are with me. But again, if you follow this watch videos It's actually provided by Tableau. I shared it on first day. It's the same URL. Then sample workbooks, what Tableau provides with the actual workbook. These are stored on your machine only. Sample gallery, you can go ahead and see like different visualizations which are being created by community people, and you can learn more from here. Then going back, okay. Yep, language, that's understood. Product key, fine. Okay, we went through and saw like how to publish a workbook. There can be possibility that you want to publish only data, not a workbook. Do you think is it possible? I mean, is it a real scenario? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So only data you are doing. Okay. So you can achieve the same thing. I think you would be doing this only, right? Or are you doing something else? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me change this server, not Tableau Public. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So let me. Okay, I'm just connecting to the Tableau server here, and we'll publish data source this time. Earlier we already published one workbook. I'm publishing one data source. It says it's asking like what project it's going to be under, what's the name, description, permission, same screen what we covered earlier, and then include external files. I need to mark. I mean, if let's say there are images and all, then I need to mark this. Or otherwise, it says update workbook to use this published data source. Okay, now I'll say publish. It's publishing that. Okay, it's done. Okay, sending data to server. Okay, meanwhile it's processing. I'll just log in into Tableau server, and we can see that where it will come and what is the difference between data source as well as published workbook. Okay, it's not letting me go to another tab. Okay, desktop. I have icon for Tableau server. Here we go. Okay, so if you see here in the default uh, project, what I selected for both, whether it was data source or published workbook, in both cases I selected default. Now here if you see, workbook looks like this, whatever visualizations are there. However, my data source will have just core data as extract, right? It is possible that my actual workbook is utilizing the same data source. That could be one of the possibility, but it is just the data, there is no visualization. If you wish, you can share this data with other people also, they can utilize the same data, but it will not have any kind of visualization, right? Hope it makes sense. You can see here it's data, and you can see those fields what I had in my data, legend data what I published. Whereas if it is a workbook, it's going to have different visualizations within it. All right, is it understood? All right, yeah. All right, going back here, one scenario I was thinking of using parameter. We talked about one view. I think I'll just cover in a minute, in few minutes. See, this subcategory is here, right? I'm dragging profit. Now there is a requirement, or user wants, user don't want to see profit every time here. What they want a flexibility, so that whenever they want they can see profit, whenever they want they can see sales, whenever they want they can see quantity against these subcategories. How can we achieve that task? I mean, we covered all these topics, so we should be, think about it. How can we achieve it? What all attributes or components would it need? Guys, I mean, we are in last 30 minutes, so speak up. What are the options which you will use in order to implement this feature? Of course, first step is correct. You need to create a parameter, right? So that's fine. I'll just create a parameter, and now somebody else can you please guide me what values I need in that parameter? So I will name it as custom measure. Yeah, what values and what data type I need to take? String. All right, what is next? Okay, so we'll go for list. So we have taken string. I'll put string here, 3 values. Let's say the measures below, within which we want to give option. So let's say profit and quantity. Okay, so I have quantity. Okay, I have given 3 values here. Now let me share my experience when I was working on Tableau very first time with the parameters. I got confused, like if I give something else here, my measures will not work, or I will not be able to put actual condition. So it's entirely different. You need to use these same values into your calculated field. So you can give any value here, but the same value as well as, I mean, this sales value and the sales value in your measure should, I mean, they can be different, right? That was my confusion actually. So I'll just go ahead here and show parameter control. You can see all three measures in the drop down, the names which we have given. Now I need to create, okay, yeah, let's take input from somebody else now. We got 3 input: parameter, type, and values. Somebody else, please. What is the next step? Show query. So I'll just go ahead and create, let's say, my measure, and here I'll define condition. If my parameter is what? Custom. Okay, I put customer measure, not custom measure. No worries. Customer measure is equal to, here I need to give the actual value what I defined into parameter. This should match sales. Then I want sum of sales to appear. Okay, else if customer measure is equal to my second value as profit, then sum of profit, else for last condition I will not write anything, I'll simply say else give sum of quantity and end. Okay, now you might know why I was whenever I created parameter, I was taking 1, 2, 3 as values, and then some text was there to appear as. So because you need to be sure that what values you have defined there, that's why I was taking 1, 2, 3, because numbers are easy to remember, but with spelling it can be a mistake. So that's why I was avoiding giving full name into parameters. So that's fine. My measure got completed. I'll just replace this profit with this measure, and now you can see if it is quantity, right now it is quantity, and let me show marks as well. These are the quantity. If you'll change it to profit, your graph will change for profit. If it is sales, it's sales, right? But for end user perspective, you don't know, like it says my measure, and title of sheet is sheet 13. So it's not helpful here. It's little I mean, it doesn't give full information. Okay, what measure is selected right now? On mouse hover also it says my measure, so that's also not clear, right? You're getting these challenges, right, for end user, right? So in order to overcome this, you can go to tooltip, and at the place of my measure, let's say parameter, and I'll put this value against that, and I'll get rid of this my measure. I have taken that parameter, I have given the value which is coming out of my measure, and then subcategory as usual. So now if you see this, it says subcategory appliances and sales is this much. If I change profit, you will see on tooltip it says profit. So using parameter, I am changing my tooltip also. With that, let's talk about this title. So the sheet name is, I mean, right now sheet name is as sheet 13. I would like to govern it by my parameter. So I will say, let me take first of all parameter itself, then I will say in quotes summary by, I can make it further dynamic and I will say by subcategory. Okay, so basically it's taking the value of a subcategory. If I, okay, no, it doesn't look good. We'll just keep it subcategory itself, because it's not going to change dynamically here, but in cases where it will change, you can put it. Right, so profit summary by subcategory, sales summary by subcategory, or quantity by subcategory. So the way I'm changing the title here using parameter, I'm changing the tooltip using parameter. Same thing, you can change the title and tooltip for the dashboard as well. Right, any doubts here? Yep. All right. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, please go ahead. Okay. Right. Open SQL Server on the machine. Yeah. Minimize this tab. Actually, I don't remember the server name. You will get it as soon as you will open SQL Server on machine. Yeah. If you know the server name, it will take automatically. Right. I don't know the name, that's why we are going this route. Yeah, just copy this and put it there. No. Why MySQL? It's SQL Server. Microsoft SQL Server. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Order sheet from SQL. Okay, from Excel. All right. Actually, we didn't had. That's why I created order table into SQL Server on my machine today. No. You will not get actually this sample. This Excel sheet data is provided by Tableau, and that what data you see in that Adventure Works, it is Microsoft data. So you will have to create this data. Yeah. No, select that particular database first of all, and then go to tasks. Yes. And then your data source is Excel. So over here you will select Excel. Yeah. Correct. No, in my repository itself. Go to my repository. Data sources. Right. You can take the second ones. Second one is the exact data. No. Sample superstore. Yeah. Because I have not seen that EU. I think that has different data actually. No. Your destination will not be Excel, right? Destination is your SQL Server. It would be Microsoft SQL Server native client. Yep. Right. You need to refresh it actually. So there is no way to refresh, just you can change the data once. Yeah, just click on it and it might appear here. You can. So this orders table you have dragged it, right? Okay. From Excel sheet. What about this SQL Server? You want to create another data, right? Or you want to join? What do you want to do? Yes. Exactly. Correct. Customer ID or order ID, any IDs you can take. Yeah, cross database join. For that you need to have two different data sources in Tableau, and then you will reach to that point. So no. I'm talking about two data source on Tableau. So you see where it's written orders plus multiple connections. You have a small drop down there. Yeah, just click on it. So you don't have any other data source right now. It is only one data source in Tableau. Okay. Anything, whichever you want. Take something else this time. Maybe take returns or people, not people actually, returns you can take. Return has order ID. So no, but in your actual data you have order ID, right? Just go to sheet. In the bottom, go to worksheet. Correct. So just see at top right, below this data option. Okay, you have two data sources now. Earlier you had only one. So data blending can be done on these things, not there. Yep, that was the cross database join. Data blending. Data blending. Right. In second database, sorry, data source, you only have order ID, right? Add them. Correct. All right. So okay, anyone, any other question? Anybody? Okay, so that's fine. I think we are left with only 4 minutes. Before we drop, I'll share this workbook with everyone, those documents what I have. With that, anytime, I mean, if you face any problem, I think you can drop me an email, so I'll be, reply with the solution to the problem. And if you need any other resources links, I can provide related to Tableau, and wherein you can go ahead and take reference, right? Yep. Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah, thanks. Bye bye. Bye.